Welcome back to the channel, guys, and today we find ourselves in beautiful Nicaragua. My name is Elton and I've been living here for more than 3 years and been coming to this country for over a decade. Today I'm gonna share with you some local tips if you're coming here and traveling, maybe if you're traveling from south side of Nicaragua all the way up north, or if you want to spend a short period or a long period of time in Nicaragua. These tips can help you out and make your life easier, and you'll feel like a pro being in this country. So let's go ahead and jump right in with tip number 1. So tip number 1 comes down to transportation. Some of the things I hear about people coming to Nicaragua is they arrive late at the airport, and being able to step out of the airport and grab a taxi seems a little complicated, or it seems a little nerve-wracking. Well, from my experience coming late into the airport and then leaving from there with the taxi, I've learned a couple things. One, the taxi system at the airport is actually a cooperative. So these guys are organized and their prices are set along the whole route between them. So essentially, one person shouldn't charge you more than the other person. The prices are set by the leader. So you don't have to worry too much about getting ripped off at the airport. I'm not saying it's not gonna, potentially there's no risk, but there is that cooperative, and my experiences have been nothing but good with these taxi drivers. I've arrived late 1 in the morning, jumped on the taxi and gotten taken to my hotel, and it's been fine. Now, if you don't want to jump in the taxi when you arrive late at the airport, what you can do is stay at the Best Western, which is right in front of the airport. You can just walk over and then you're in the hotel, you sleep the night, and then the next morning you can go wherever you want. Another cool thing, if you're in Managua, is that there's something similar to Uber. There's an app called Aventon. And what Aventon does, it lets you call a taxi to wherever you are. So if you're at the mall, you can download the app, and you can even pay cash with the driver. You don't even need to pay in the app. And then you just put in the location you are and where you want to go, and that person will take you. So I've used this multiple times and it's super convenient. I would say it's like the Uber of Nicaragua. You can check it out. It's called Aventon and it should be in the App Store. Now, let's say that you're coming to Nicaragua and you want to rent a vehicle, or you want to do something instead of taking buses, you want to have transportation with you. One of the things I recommend if you want to save some money is look at Facebook Marketplace. So there's a trend now in Nicaragua that instead of people renting cars on Budget or Alamo, which can be a little bit pricey, they're renting cars from personal people that put their cars on Facebook Marketplace or put their motorcycle. So let's say if you go to San Juan del Sur and you want a motorcycle to be cruising around, and you don't want to pay too much from a motorcycle company, go on to Facebook Marketplace and se alquila motocicleta or se alquila carro, and you'll more than likely find someone renting their bike out for the day. So that's actually a very big tip, because you can save yourself some cash, and it's usually a lot friendlier dealing with the personal person. Just remember that you want to double check, make sure that you have your insurance and all the paperwork's under in order. So if you do need to use that, you're not scrambling at the end of the last minute, while you need it. You're out there worrying about it. Just make sure you double check all that, and then you should be good to go. I have a couple of friends that come out here, and that's how they do it. They go on Facebook Marketplace, rent the car from there, then return it to the personal party before they leave. If you're planning on traveling Nicaragua and you want to go into, let's say, Honduras, El Salvador, or Guatemala, you don't necessarily need to get on a plane to get there. There is a bus that travels through Central America, so it will take you from San Juan del Sur, Managua, all the way up to Guatemala, potentially even into Mexico. So I've had a group of friends from Germany that came out and they jumped on the bus in Managua, and it took them all the way to San Salvador. They'll even help you cross the border because you have to submit your documents beforehand. So if you're traveling the country, that is an option. And in particular, there's this bus called the Tika bus. And if you reserve in advance, that bus is very comfortable. It has AC and you have assigned seating. So you're just cruising there, has good drivers, it's in good condition. And it will take you to any country you want to go to within Central America. So a lot of people are traveling that way. So just know that only because you're in Nicaragua, you don't need to stick in Nicaragua. The beauty about Central America is that you get to travel and jump between countries because they're so close amongst each other. And the way you can do that is through these bus services that are available for you that will help you get here. So if you're coming to Nicaragua, you might be worried about your cell phone or Wi-Fi signal. Specifically, if you're working from home or need to stay connected, And one of the tips that I give people is if you go on Amazon and if you buy a mobile hotspot, these little mobile hotspots about the size of my hand, they're about $60 to $150, depends the quality that you want. When you arrive in Nicaragua, you can buy a chip at the airport, or you can go into any service that sells chips like Claro or Tigo, and then you can put it into the mobile hotspot. And what this does essentially is that you have Wi-Fi everywhere you go in Nicaragua. So this is how we've been able to upload videos on the fly, or maybe be in an Airbnb where the service sucks, but the mobile hotspot's been good. So that's a big tip for you. Also, if you're coming here, you can also get a chip, and if you have an iPhone with double chip, you can insert it, and then you'll have two phone numbers. One will be for Nicaragua and one will be for the US, and you can just turn on the service for Nicaragua so you don't use your US data. And then bada bing bam boom, you are set to be traveling like a pro here in Nicaragua. Now keep in mind that here in Nicaragua, everyone uses WhatsApp. So people are on WhatsApp. That's the most common way to communicate. So if you don't have it on your phone, I suggest downloading WhatsApp and getting it set up. Trust me, because if you're trying to book a car off a Facebook Marketplace, that's going to be your form of communication. If you're trying to book a taxi service, if you're trying to call a hotel, whatever you're trying to do, everything's going to come down to WhatsApp. So those are the two big tips: mobile hotspot and get on WhatsApp, and you should be communicating like a pro out here. Now, a couple of travelers have been in situations that when they come to Nicaragua, they might lose their debit card, or their laptop might break, or maybe they're traveling with a camera and they forgot something. And the biggest question that comes after that is, how do I get this to Nicaragua, right? Or sometimes it's even more of an emergency. Maybe you lost your passport and you need some documentation shipped to you. Well, the way it works now is there's some freight forwarders. There's companies here in Nicaragua that offer that service to get packages into the country. And there's a couple, there's more than a handful actually. For example, there's one that I use called Prix Cargo. And the way it works, if I need something from Amazon, I just order it and they ship it to Miami. So once it's in Miami, Prix Cargo receives it, and then from there, they'll ship it into Nicaragua. If it's going by air, it can take as little as 10 to 14 days. If it's going by cargo, it can take up to 20 to 30 days. And when I say cargo, that's ocean. They put it on the boat. And the reason you would do that versus air is because of the pricing. So if you're shipping by air, it's about $7 a pound. So if you're shipping something heavy by air, it's gonna add up quickly. So if you want to save some money, you could put it on cargo, and it's only going to be around $2.50 to $3 a pound. There's also another company nationally in Nicaragua called Cargo Trans, so Cargo Trans. And this company brings packages across all of Nicaragua. So I've had my packages arrive in Managua, they go to Cargo Trans, and then they come to the city I live, which is 5 hours away. And it's very reasonably priced, and it's effective, and they take care of your packages. So essentially, with these tips, you can be anywhere as long as there's a Cargo Trans nearby. You just need a matter of time, and if you're not in a rush, you can get what you need into Nicaragua, into the country, to take care of your urgency, or maybe you forgot that camera part and you need to take that beautiful picture, right? So those are two big things when it comes to getting packages into Nicaragua. All right, so some people come to Nicaragua for a long time and they intend to stay longer than their visa. Maybe they want to stay here for 4 months. And the thing with Central American countries is, I believe it's called a C4 visa. Correct me if I'm wrong, if someone knows the name of it. But when you arrive in Nicaragua, you get 90 days to be in Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, and Nicaragua. After the 90 days, you need to leave the country. So you either need to go to Costa Rica or you need to go to Mexico. And this is what a lot of people do. They'll stay there 90 days and then they'll do a border run, get their visa reset for another 90 days and come back into the country. The tip I'm gonna give you is that, let's say if you're in a smaller city up north of Nicaragua and you only need to extend your visa for 15 to 20 more days, it wouldn't make sense to travel all the way down to Costa Rica, cross the border, and go through all that headache. It's gonna be super time consuming. It'll take you about 2 days. So what you could do is you could go to your local immigration office and then you can show them your visa that's about to expire, and then you can tell them that you want to pay for a 1 month extension. So they'll give you 30 more days. But now you have to know this, that when you go to do that, they're gonna take your passport for 2 weeks, between 5 days to 2 weeks, because they need to ship it down to Managua where they're gonna give you that extension. So if you're not in a rush, you got time and you can plan ahead, you can easily extend yourself 30 days without having to go cross a border. And you can do this, I believe, 2 to 3 times. Essentially, you save yourself the headache and time. Now, if you're close to the border down in Costa Rica and you don't mind going there, then more power to you. But if you just need it for a few more days, or if you don't want to do border runs, that's a good way to get a few extra days in the country without having to travel too far. So that's a major tip right there. Now, when coming to this country, there's a lot to do here, and there's a lot of business owners too that want people to go visit them and will share knowledge and open doors. And one of the good ways to communicate with people in Nicaragua to see what everyone's doing, I've noted there's a lot of Facebook groups. So if you go on Facebook and you type Nicaragua in the Facebook group section, you'll notice they're quite active. And so Nicaragua uses Facebook quite a lot. It's not a dying trend like it was in the US for a bit. I noticed that they use it even more than Instagram. If you don't have a Facebook account, it would be worth activating it again and then going into the Facebook groups. There's like Backpackers Nicaragua, there's Expats Nicaragua, Travel in Nicaragua. So there's a bunch of groups that are there. You can post your questions, you can post your concerns, or you can post a story that you learned or you want to share. And the community is there to help and support you. So it's actually pretty cool. And it's a big tip too, because if you post on there, hey, I'm traveling from León to Managua, does anyone want to share a taxi? Then you can potentially have someone join you and split the cost, you know? So it's a big tool for communicating. And if you're going to a new country by yourself, you don't feel by yourself, you know, you feel like you have that community there. All right, guys. I do have some bonus tips for you on Sundays in Nicaragua. If you're looking to get something done, let's say you need to go buy something or you're looking to travel somewhere, Sundays in Nicaragua is slow life. People here are not in a rush. If you're in a smaller city in Nicaragua, then more than likely places are gonna be closed. That's when people relax, they chill with their family, they recuperate for the week. So it's happened to me where I wanna get something done, I forgot a documentation or paperwork that I need to do, and I try to do it on a Sunday, and then I realize there's no even point of stressing about it. So just know that if you're okay with that, it's perfectly fine. I love it because it just makes you be at home chilling with your family. But if you need to get something done, you gotta plan beforehand and don't wait till Sunday, because it's just gonna make it that much more complicated. Another bonus tip to think about when coming to Nicaragua. Nicaragua is a gorgeous country, but the weather also affects how the scenery looks. In summer, it's completely dry, it's less green, specifically towards the capital and the south side. Here in the north side, it stays more green year round, but it still dries out. I would say from like March to like September, there's excessive heat. It gets really hot. My favorite time is after September to March, where the rainy season comes in and it's just looking like it's lush green. You can smell the fresh rain on the ground. In January, the winds come in, so it's really windy and fresh. It's cool to sleep. So if you're traveling this country and you really don't like too much heat, I'd say plan for coming during the winter time, during the cooler season, December, January, November, and you'll have a better experience. It's gonna be greener. If you're gonna be surfing, those aren't gonna be good times for you, so it just depends on what you're gonna be doing. Necessarily here, you don't need to pack too much winter clothes because it doesn't get that cold. It's a tropical country and we're blessed with good weather year round. It's either really hot and rainy, so you pick what you like, and then this will make your trip better. And there you have it. These are local tips of what I learned from being in this country. And I want to give you guys value in case you're coming out here. I want you to have a good time and make sure you relax and unwind, because the people here are awesome and it has a lot to offer for everyone. So if you like this type of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I am building a coffee farm out here in Nicaragua. I produce 2 videos a week right now. Eventually want to ramp up. And so I'll see you guys. Hasta luego. It is your Coffee Familia signing off.